Hello everyone, this is Science Vines and you're watching the audiovisual chapter of Class 11th Biology. This is the second part of the chapter 22, Chemical Coordination and Integration. We are starting off with the parathyroid gland. In humans, four parathyroid glands are present on the backside of the thyroid gland, one pair each in the two lobes of the thyroid gland. The parathyroid glands secrete a peptide hormone called parathyroid hormone. The secretion of PTH is regulated by the circulating level of calcium ions. Parathyroid hormone (PTH) increases the calcium ion levels in the blood. PTH acts on bones and stimulates the process of bone resorption or dissolution or demineralization you can call. PTH also stimulates reabsorption of calcium ions by the renal tubules and increases calcium ions absorption from the digested food. It is thus clear that PTH is hypercalcemic hormone. That is, it increases the blood calcium levels along the TCT. Along with TCT, it plays a significant role in calcium balance in the body. Now the thymus. The thymus gland is a lobular structure located between lungs behind sternum on the ventral side of the aorta. The thymus plays a major role in the development of the immune system. This gland secretes the peptide hormones called thymosin. Thymosin play a major role in the differentiation of the T lymphocytes, which provide cell-mediated immunity. In addition, thymosin also promote production of antibiotics to provide hormonal immunity. Thymus is degenerated in old individuals, resulting in a decreased production of thymosins. As a result, the immune responses of old persons become weak. Adrenal gland. Our body has one pair of adrenal glands, one at the anterior part of each kidney. The gland is composed of two types of tissues. The centrally located tissue is called the adrenal medulla, and the outside this lies the adrenal cortex. Underproduction of hormones via the adrenal cortex alters carbohydrate metabolism, causing acute weakness and fatigue, leading to a disease called Addison's disease. The adrenal medulla secretes two hormones called adrenaline or epinephrine or noradrenaline or norepinephrine. These are commonly called as catecholamines. Adrenaline and noradrenaline are rapidly secreted in response to stress of any kind and during emergency situations and are called emergency hormones or hormones of fight or flight. These hormones increases alertness, pupillary dilation, piloerection, raising of hairs, swearing, etc. Both the hormones increase the heartbeat, the strength of the heart contraction and the rate of respiration. Catecholamines also stimulate the breakdown of a glycogen, resulting in an increased concentration of glucose in blood. In addition, they also stimulate the breakdown of lipids and proteins. The adrenal cortex can be divided into three layers called zona reticularis inner layer, zona fascicular middle layer, zona glomerulosa outer layer. The adrenal cortex secretes many hormones, commonly called as corticoids. The corticoids which are involved in carbohydrate metabolism are called glucocorticoids. In our body, cortisol is the main glucocorticoid. Corticoids which regulate the balance of water and electrolytes in our body are called mineralocorticoids. Aldosterone is the main mineralocorticoid in our body. Glucocorticoids stimulate gluconeogenesis, lipolysis, and proteolysis, and inhibit cellular uptake and utilization of amino acids. Cortisol is also involved in maintaining the cardiovascular system as well as the kidney functions. Glucocorticoids, particularly cortisol, produces anti-inflammatory reactions and suppress the immune response. Cortisol stimulates the RBC production. Aldosterone acts mainly at the renal tubules and stimulates the reabsorption of sodium ions and water and excretion of potassium and phosphate ions. Thus, aldosterone helps in the maintenance of electrolytes, body fluid volume, osmotic pressure, and blood pressure. Small amounts of androgenic steroids are also secreted by the adrenal cortex, which play a role in the growth of axial hair, pubic hair, and facial hair during puberty. Pancreas. Pancreas is a composite gland which acts as both exocrine and endocrine gland. The endocrine pancreas consists of islets of Langerhans. These are about 1 to 2 million islets of Langerhans in a normal human pancreas, representing only 1 to 2% of the pancreatic tissue. The two main type of cells in the islets of Langerhans are called alpha cells and beta cells. The alpha cells secrete a hormone called glucagon, while beta cells secrete insulin. Glucagon is a peptide hormone and plays an important role in the maintaining the normal blood glucose levels. Glucagon acts mainly on the liver cells or hepatocytes and stimulates glucogenolysis, resulting in an increased blood sugar or hyperglycemia. In addition, this hormone stimulates a process of gluconeogenesis, which also contributes to hyperglycemia. Glucagon reduces the cellular glucose uptake and utilization. Thus, glucagon is a hyperglycemic hormone. Insulin is a peptide hormone which plays a major role in the regulation of a glucose homeostasis. Insulin acts mainly on hepatocytes and adipocytes, cells of adipose tissue, and enhances cellular glucose uptake and utilization. As a result, there is a rapid movement of glucose from blood to hepatocytes and adipocytes, resulting in decreased blood glucose levels, hypoglycemia. Insulin also stimulates conversion of glucose to glycogen, glycogenesis, in the target cells. The glucose homeostasis in blood is thus maintained jointly by the two, insulin and glucagons. Prolonged hyperglycemia leads to a complex disorder called diabetes mellitus, which is associated with loss of glucose through urine and formation of a harmful compounds known as ketone bodies. Diabetic patients are successfully treated with insulin therapy. Testis. Pair of testes is present in the scrotal sac, outside abdomen of male individuals. Testis performs dual functions as a primary sex organ as well as an endocrine gland. Testis is composed of seminiferous tubules and stromal or interstitial tissue. The Leydig cells or interstitial cells which are present in the intertubular spaces produce a group of hormones called androgens, mainly testosterone. Androgens regulate the development, maturation, and functions of the male accessory sex organs like epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, prostate gland, urethra, etc. These hormones stimulate muscular growth, growth of facial and axillary hair, aggressiveness, low pitch of voice, etc. Androgens play a major stimulatory role in the process of spermatogenesis, formation of spermatozoa. Androgens acts on the central neural system and influence the male sexual behavior libido. These hormones produce anabolic or synthetic effects on protein and carbohydrate metabolism. Now, the ovary. Females have a pair of ovaries located in the abdomen. Ovary is the primary female sex organ which produces one ovum during each menstrual cycle. In addition, ovary also produces two groups of steroid hormones called estrogen and progesterone. Ovary is composed of ovarian follicles and stromal tissues. The estrogen is synthesized and secreted mainly by the growing ovarian follicles. After ovulation, the ruptured follicle is converted to a structure called corpus luteum, which secretes mainly progesterone. Estrogen produces wide ranging actions such as stimulation of a growth and activities of female secondary sex organs, development of growing ovarian follicles, appearance of female secondary sex characters, example high pitch of voice, etc. Memory glands development. Estrogens also regulate female sexual behavior. Progesterone supports pregnancy. Progesterone also acts on the memory glands and stimulates the formation of alveoli. Sac-like structure which store milk and milk secretion. Now, hormones of heart, kidney and gastrointestinal tract. Now you know about the endocrine glands and their hormones. However, as mentioned earlier, hormones are also secreted by some tissues which are not endocrine glands. For example, the atrial wall of our heart secretes a very important peptide hormone called atrial natriuretic factor (ANF), which decreases blood pressure. When blood pressure is increased, ANF is secreted, which causes dilation of the blood vessels. This reduces the blood pressure. The juxtaglomerular cells of the kidney produce a peptide hormone called erythropoietin, which stimulates erythropoiesis or formation of RBC. Endocrine glands present in different parts of the gastrointestinal tract secretes four major peptide hormones, namely gastrin, secretin, cholecystokinin (CCK), and gastric inhibitory peptide (GIP). Gastrin acts on the gastric glands and stimulates the secretion of hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen. Secretin acts on the exocrine pancreas and stimulates secretion of water and bicarbonate ions. CCK acts on both pancreas and gallbladder and stimulates the secretion of pancreatic enzymes and bile juice respectively. GIP inhibits gastric secretion and motility. Several other non-endocrine tissues secrete hormones called growth factors. These factors are essential for the normal growth of tissues and their repairing and regeneration. Mechanism of hormone action. Hormone produce their effects on target tissues by binding to specific proteins called hormone receptors located in the target tissues only. Hormone receptors present on the cell membrane of the target cells are called membrane bound receptors, and the receptors present inside the target cell are called intracellular receptors. Mostly nuclear receptors present in the nucleus. Binding of a hormone to its receptor leads to formation of a hormone receptor complex. Each receptor is specific to one hormone only, and hence receptors are specific. Hormone receptor complex formation leads to certain biochemical changes in the target tissue, target tissue metabolism, and hence physiological functions are regulated by hormones. On the basis of their chemical structure, hormones can be divided into groups. Peptide, polypeptide protein hormones, example insulin, glucagon, pituitary hormone, hypothalamic hormone, etc. Second, steroid, example cortisol, testosterone, estradiol, and progesterone. Third, iodothyronins, thyroid hormones. Fourth, amino acid derivatives, example epinephrine. Hormones which interact with membrane bound receptors normally do not enter the target cell but generate second messengers, example cyclic AMP, IP3, calcium plus 2 ions, etc., which in turn regulate cellular metabolism. Hormones which interact with intracellular receptors, example steroid hormones, iodothyronins, etc., mostly regulate gene expression or chromosome function by the interaction of a hormone receptor complex with the genome. Cumulative biochemical actions result in physiological and developmental effects. Now we are looking at the diagram where there is representation of mechanism of hormone action. So the diagram which we are looking at, which is A, is a type of protein hormone, and it is interacting with the receptor present on the cell membrane. Okay, so which in turn is producing response in the form of cyclic AMP or calcium ions, and then the biochemical responses are generated from them, and then the physiological responses, example ovarian growth type. The second diagram we are looking at is steroid hormone type, which is a intracellular receptor type, and the example here is estrogen, which is entering the uterine cell membrane and then getting into the nucleus, where there is a hormone receptor complex is formed, which transcribes the mRNA, and then mRNA forms a protein with the translation and all, and then shows the physiological responses, tissue growth and differentiation. So here we end the second part of the chapter 22, chemical coordination and integration. To watch more such videos, do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any video. And if you want us to create more such videos on any other book or subject, do mention in the comment section please. Like and share the video to keep us motivated to create such content. Thank you for watching the video. Bye bye. Love love.